section 12.3 of the constitution of the party gave the National Working Committee all the powers of the convention and the National Executive Committee to exercise on behalf of the Social Democratic Party. That is why, first and foremost, before we start anything in the party, we found out that we have to cleanse the party and reset it. A political party that, as I always said, is like the way asphalt are to the road construction and roads to building construction. So are the political party to our democracy. If we are to present candidates that will be president, governors, senators, members of the House of Representatives and state assemblies, chairmen and councillors, I think at the party level we're supposed to cleanse the party to make it corrupt-free and so on and so forth. So that is why we are cleansing the party. In the process, an audit report of the party was submitted to INEC. They said that the party within their under review were able to make only 32 million, and almost 31 of that money was scandal. And the money and the audit report was signed single-handedly by the national level, elsewhere expel national chairman, without the statutory members of the National Working Committee who are responsible for signing our audit report. The national chairman, the national secretary, the national treasurer, national auditor, and national financial secretary. She single-handedly signed my saying. When we stumbled on a document in only 2 bank accounts, those 2 bank accounts are in Zenith and First Bank, we realized that the party made 740 million naira for only 2 accounts. But these are also all part of the money that were within the time under review, 2022-2023. So we wrote INEC to say this is what has happened. INEC, this is what is in our audit report, this is what the chairman submitted, and this is what is in our bank account. We submitted our bank statement to INEC and asked INEC to prosecute the expelled national chairman. INEC did not that under throughout this time they continued to drag us back. So at the end of the day we felt out that we have to take the matter to the court of competent jurisdiction to try him so that the money will be returned to the party. This is why we are here, and we are happy. The last time we were here, the expelled member refused to appear before the court. Just like when we set up an investigatory panel of 5 eminent Nigerians led by Air Vice Marshal Abubakar to investigate the matter. All other members that were accused are advised to appear before the committee, which the committee sat for 14 days in our national headquarters at the conference hall, which I am sure most of you were there. Unfortunately, the national chairman and the national leader felt they are above the law, they are above the constitution of the party, they are above the constitution of the land and the electoral, and they refused to appear before the court, before the disciplinary committee. So the disciplinary committee was set up to give them a fair hearing so that if they clear their name, they can still come back and continue or whatever. But they refused to. So at the end of the day, we set up a white paper committee that reviewed the disciplinary committee report and recommended their expulsion, and they were expelled. You are fully also aware, we held our neck on the 9th of March at Newton Park Hotel and Resort, where the NEC unanimously motions were moved, were seconded, were approved and ratified for their expulsion from the party. They were expelled. They are no more our members as of today. And we had our national convention on the 9th of this month, that is barely 3 days ago, at Bauchi, Tafawa Balewa Stadium. Most of your media platform covered our convention live. And this is our own internal affairs. So I think...
Sir, have you taken over your office? Have you taken over your office?
We have just came back yesterday night from Bauchi, from the convention. As you are aware, we are just on the eve of going to the convention. On the very day that most of us moved out of Abuja to go to Bauchi for the convention, that was where they sneak to come in the company of policemen to take over the office. And you are all there. You saw it. They dragged the gate, they pulled the gate, they entered forcefully, break our offices in the daylight, robbery that we can call it. They went into the office, police escorted them, and they did that. Because we believe that all those things were done to deter us from going ahead with our convention. That is how we did not felt any deter. We continue our process of the convention. We make sure that our eyes are just on the ball to have the convention. The convention is the highest organ of the party to take whatever decision, and 11 of the 12 members of the National Working Committee were there at the convention and were elected as the National Working Committee of the party at the convention, and also we are the first party to have elect our presidential candidate in Nigeria, and I'm sure the SDP has set the pace for other political parties. We just came back, and though even while we are there, we received invitation from the police that escorted him to say they want to see us for some interrogation and so on and so on. So we just came back, and I want to assure you, nothing will be left undone, nothing will be left unattended to. We are going to make sure that as law abiding, we follow all due process of law. We are not going to go to an office and take it on like a robbery and so on.
On the flip side, the person is back to court. The game is still on the platform of the INEC.
The problem is that I want to see INEC or any media propaganda is not what makes somebody to be a chairman of a party. Supreme Court, in its own wisdom, has ruled severally internal affairs of parties are their exclusive program. The party are the one to decide who is their leader, not INEC. I want to tell you, you will be shocked. I am with the certified true copy of the National Executive Committee meeting of the SDP, which INEC monitored. INEC were there. The director, deputy director, election and party management, Alhaji Masoud Hassan, was the one who monitored, along with 6 other members of his team from INEC that monitored our NEC. And we were all there. The NEC was conducted at the Newton Park Hotel and Resort successfully from morning to evening, and we presented our report. INEC did their report. In fact, even the INEC report, certified true copy of the INEC report is with us. I have a copy here, Bello. I have a copy of that I will show you. I will even give you, if you want to have copies, all of you. Certified true copy.
Your convention in Bauchi, was INEC there?
Well, the responsibility of the party, according to the Constitution and the Electoral Act, is to give INEC 21 statutory days for the monitoring of the convention. You can take a horse to the river, you cannot drag it to drink. It's the responsibility of INEC to either attend or not to attend. Either INEC attend a convention or did not attend the convention will not invalidate the convention, because the convention was duly given a notice to INEC by the party that covered the 21 days. We were initially to do the convention in Nasarawa. When we were denied a venue, we came back to Abuja. We were denied a venue. Then luckily enough, we find a courageous, democratic governor of Bauchi State availed us with the use of the stadium, Abubakar Stadium, to do the convention. We did. We were complied with all the due process of law as far as we are as a party, and we give INEC due notice. So it doesn't matter. We don't want to go into things that are to us inconsequential. Because INEC don't have. Why should it be what clear in the mountain? Because Nigeria, we are used to lawlessness. INEC doesn't have any right to say they are the one to decide the leadership of any party. One, the Supreme Court ruling in the case of PDP is enough to enlighten Nigerians about who has the right to decide who is the leader of their party. It's the party itself, not. We are talking about an institution. Always we are trying to drag us back to individualism. Either INEC chairman, even in INEC, go to INEC and Sanford. If there will be a vote today in INEC to tell you about the management of INEC also, what is their decision, you will be shocked to see that we will have only a chairman. When we are under a chairman who is a professor of law, a son for that matter, then this thing is happening. So we are certain that what is going to happen in 2027 in Nigeria, so Nigerians should be worried of what to expect in 2027 if these things continue, because I want to assure you that we are heading for something that only God will.
So who are these external forces?
Who are these external forces? By the police, by this leadership.
I didn't, in person, I didn't receive any invitation personally, but I realized all members of the NWC were invited. But I want to assure you that we are always ready. These police, they don't even need to invite us. When this thing happened, we have 2 letters. We wrote a letter to the Inspector General of Police. We are asking him to investigate the fraudulent and financial crimes against the expelled national chairman to the tune of 626 million naira. We wrote the IG. The IG minuted to the former Deputy Inspector General of Police, Federal Investigation Agency. That is DIG Sadiq. When Ankwara was the AIG there, we were there Following the matter for 3 months, they could not prosecute or they could not investigate the expelled national chairman. Then we have to write another letter to the IG as a reminder on our petition against the expelled national chairman. The IG wrote again to the DIG and asked him to continue with the investigation. Yet still, and here we are today. So what will the police invite us on what? This is a case before you that we alerted you. We wrote to the ICPC, we wrote to the FCC, we wrote to the director of DSS, we wrote to the IG. The IG minuted and direct that investigation to be carried out. Nothing happened. Yeah, we are. This is a country that I don't know where we are headed for. So I want to assure you that
It's okay.